platforms, including Facebook. And those specifically are 4 key steps. 1, that they measure and publicly share the impact of misinformation on their platform. Facebook should provide publicly and transparently data on the reach of COVID vaccine misinformation. Not just engagement, but the reach of the misinformation and the audience that it's reaching. That will help us ensure we're getting accurate information to people. This should be provided not just to researchers, but to the public, so that the public knows and understands what is accurate and inaccurate. Second, that we have proposed that they create a robust enforcement strategy that bridges their properties and provides transparency about the rules. So I think this was a question asked before, there's about 12 people who are producing 65% of anti-vaccine misinformation on social media platforms. All of them remain active on Facebook, despite some even being banned on other platforms, including Facebook, ones that Facebook owns. Third, it's important to take faster action against harmful posts. As you all know, information travels quite quickly on social media platforms. Sometimes it's not accurate, and Facebook needs to move more quickly to remove harmful, violative posts that will be within their policies for removal often remain up for days. If that's too long, the information spreads too quickly. Finally, we have proposed they promote quality information sources in their feed algorithm. Facebook has repeatedly shown that they have the leverage to promote quality information. We've seen them affect
morons. It seems like they're everywhere you turn. Every single day they invade the headlines. Another half-wit criminal with a half-baked scheme. Another social media simpleton going viral. Another Florida man stretching the bounds of stupidity. Or another pack of SJWs throwing a temper tantrum. And that's not even the worst of it. From the empty talking heads on the cable news channels, to the humorless hacks in Hollywood, to the pea-brain politicians pulling the puppet strings, everywhere you look, there's another idiot telling you how to live your life.
Moron Joe, the man without a brain.
I'll have to just circle back.
At this point, we don't need to watch anything that Biden does to make fun of him.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
the dude, basically, he doesn't even speak. He just talks Simlish.
Simlish?
Yeah, like...
Will you shut up, man?
I took a trip up there to the North Pole. I went there, and I vaccinated Santa Claus myself.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out why all the trannies kept getting the HIV, so I had to put a dress and a wig on and go back to my favorite gay bars and bathhouses. But this time I wore my triple masks on account of the COVID.
I'll slap you in the face and I'll say, I demand satisfaction, you son of a bitch.
Did you know that an average adult man has 144 pounds of edible meat on his body?
What? What the shit?
Oh, it is just groovy, man. I'm telling you, the vibes are immaculate.
Well, Jay and Anissa have had enough. Armed with clever satire, madcap humor, and the craziest cast of characters in podcasting, they're lining up and taking aim at the world of stupidity every single week. Because it is time to go to war. The War on Morons.
It is Tuesday, July 20th, 2021, and this is episode 90 of The War on Morons. I'm Jay.
And I'm Anissa. Welcome to the show where we act like smartasses and laugh at dumbasses.
Yes, thanks for tuning in, of course, whether you're watching on Gab TV, watching on Rumble, watching on YouTube, listening on Hameen Media Group, or maybe, just maybe, you're watching from your post at the new Capitol Police field office on orders from Jen Psaki. To gather extremist content out of context to shut us down, destroy our lives, maybe put us in prison.
Let's just lay it out. Without dangerous misinformation, we don't have a show.
Oh, yeah, dangerous misinformation. I can't believe that shit. They literally, we tried to tell you. Like, I remember right after the fake inauguration, I was like, hey, yeah, don't worry, guys. They're going to be kicking your doors in if you say anything bad on the internet, if you're a dissenter. Yeah. And then, like, people are like, you're crazy. You're being ridiculous. Then, like, a few months later, I think Tucker Carlson came out and he's like, hey, they're spying on me.
Hey.
The NSA is reading my text messages. And people said, Tucker, you're crazy. And then a week after that, the press secretary goes out and is like, yes, we're watching out for dangerous misinformation. If they say anything bad in their text messages or on Facebook, we'll ban them from the internet.
It's almost like the communist one, people.
You know, we should call the show Dangerous Misinformation. Like a rebrand.
But then that makes it sound like, I don't know, like they actually have something like that, like they have valid information. The war on morons is an insult, and I like that.
Yeah, I mean, and we're not really the ones that are misinforming anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like we take the piss out of it a little bit. We make jokes out of the news. It's fake news sometimes, but we're telling the truth. The people talking about dangerous information have literally lied about everything in the history of everything.
It is dangerous information because if you believe it. Then we're in a world of shit.
If you believe it, you're probably shooting poisons in your arm. If that didn't kill you yet, at least it sterilized you. If it didn't sterilize you, it probably paralyzed you. If it didn't paralyze you, well, you were brain dead to begin with.
Yeah.
I mean, case in point, speaking of dangerous information, did you see in Texas, they had like every Democrat in their state legislature left the state.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah,
they like went on a strike. Boy, they love labor strikes in the left, don't they?
They just don't want to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's a voting integrity bill there, so people can. So it's a little bit harder to cheat and steal elections. Not that ever happens. But yeah, so that's passing. It's going to pass because they're outnumbered and like the people want it. The people don't want like illegal immigrants and dead people and dead cats and fucking, you know, Chinese teenagers playing Fortnite or whatever to be voting in our elections. So every Democrat in the legislature is like, hey, we found this thing on page whatever the state constitution that says if we're not in the building when the vote happens, it doesn't count. They need 2/3 of the members of the House to be there. So hear me out. What if we spend like $1.5 million? We charter a private jet. We grab a few cases of Miller Lite, and we just, I don't know, just fly to Washington and hang out with our people.
I mean, honest to God. What did they think? Were they just never going to return?
They're wanted now. They're wanted fugitives. Like I think it's called the Sergeant of Arms or something. Basically, like one of the top cops in Texas is looking for these motherfuckers. Like they're the fugitive.
You shouldn't have to look too hard. They're posting Instagram photos of themselves smiling with selfies and shit.
Well, no, the best thing is a bunch of them caught COVID. Like, literally, I think the count's up to 5 of these idiots. Now, of course, them being Democrats, they're 100% fully double vaccinated, maybe even triple vaccinated. Now, they weren't wearing masks on their plane ride. They already got in trouble for that, by the way. I guess it's illegal. I'm talking about being, what's the word, hoisted by your own retard?
I mean, what's the problem? They're vaccinated. They've been social distancing for 1.5 years now.
Well, they weren't social distancing. They were packed in pretty tight on that private jet.
For the previous 1.5 years. I mean, you know, what's next? If you wear a bubble boy suit, you still have to wear a mask?
Well, I keep hearing stories about this. Like, I've seen stuff on Twitter. And again, guys, I made a War on Morons Twitter. I barely ever fucking use it. But it does exist again just because it's fun to look at these idiots. But I keep seeing people on Twitter that are like these liberals that love to think they're always right and love to call us idiots because they have the memory span of a retarded goldfish. And they're like saying things like, I don't get it. I haven't left my house but 3 times in the last year. I'm double vaccinated. I always wear at least 2 masks. And I just tested positive for COVID.
Huh.
It's almost like it's in the shots.
It is almost like that. Or like the tests are faulty.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I just hope in this one instance, I hope that that 99.98% survivability rate, well, let's pump those numbers down a little bit. Because, and we might actually be breaking news here. In case you guys didn't know, Kamala Harris got rushed to Walter Reed Hospital on Sunday after meeting with these idiot Texas legislatures.
Huh.
They tried to... I mean, this is worse than 9/11 plus Pearl Harbor plus the Civil War. These are insurrectionists worse than the Civil War Confederates, as Biden would say. They tried to give Kamala basically bubonic plague.
Wow. I don't even know what they're going to do for her. I mean, we all know hydroxy... What's it called?
Maybe they should give her some laughing gas.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Anyway, moving on. Speaking of karma, an entirely different story here. But did you see a lightning strike destroyed a George Floyd mural in Toledo?
What?
Yes.
No, I did not see that.
This was like, I think it was like this time last week. So... I don't even know how this happens. I've never heard of this happening. It's just a big mural of, the martyr George Floyd, the hero that we all, we don't deserve him. He's too big of a hero for all of us. But anyway, a lightning strike came out of nowhere and it blew the mural up. There's bricks everywhere. It's completely destroyed. Now there's police tape surrounding.
That's insane. That's insane.
I mean, in other news, Joe Biden has added God to his list of white supremacist domestic terrorists.
All right.
Jesus Christ is on the no-fly list.
Oh, my God.
What if God was one of... I know I've said that before, but this time I feel like he actually is. He's sick of this shit, too. Anyway, I think that's enough headlines.
Yeah, let's get things started in the...
Well, we got to talk about our craziest...
Oh, yeah, the crazy story that didn't have room for in the stack this week.
All right, what do you got?
TikTok trend of cleaning teeth with Mr. Clean Magic Eraser is surprisingly not safe, according to dentists.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so people are posting life hacks on TikTok, and of course you don't have to be qualified to do so. So a person, I guess, started this trend of using these Mr. Clean Magic Erasers, which they feel like sponges, but if you don't know how they work, this is how they work. They're actually, like, insanely powerful exfoliators. They have, like, micro stones that just exfoliate the shit out of anything.
Well, and I assume they're full of chemicals and bleach and stuff, right?
Not so much. I mean, maybe a little, but it's mostly just the fact that they're like, they can scrub paint off your walls, for God's sake.
So
like,
think about what they can do to your plaque.
And your enamel.
Ding! Maybe we can do that in post. We can make it look like I've got super white teeth.
Oh, yeah.
I just used a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, kids. It's safe. Trust me, but only if you're fully vaccinated. If you've gotten both of your shots, it'll get your teeth looking super, super clean.
Oh my God. Apparently the person who originally posted this has been doing this for 2 years. 2 years. And the dentists who have responded to this trend are saying, basically, the shit you're using on your teeth is as hard as glass, and it's like scrubbing your teeth with sandpaper.
Like, I've heard that you shouldn't even use, like, medium or hard bristles. Like, I've heard, like, I don't feel like it's working if I'm using a soft brush. But I hear that you're only supposed to use, like, the soft head.
Yeah.
And these people are using...
melamine foam.
Melamine foam. That sounds like some shit from NASA. And... I'm just assuming there's at least a drop or two, just a dab will do you, of bleach.
I mean, why don't we just go full hog? Why don't you just get like some sandpaper and stick it on a drill and just, really get in there?
Maybe they're using Tide for the toothpaste.
Oh, I like that.
I'm assuming these are the same
OxyClean.
Well, the funniest thing is, apparently these are people that are like, like they're afraid of fluoride. They're like, I'm going to do it the clean way. I mean, it says right there on the box, Mr. Clean. So it's environment. Anyway, moving on. If you want to join the show today, give us a call to the hotline. We're going to roll the dice this week, so 813-906-9099. Or you can email us at thewaronmorons@gmail.com. We'll be checking the inbox. We'll read it on the air if you send it in during the show. Or hit us up online. We're on MeWe, Gab, Facebook. I already mentioned Twitter. Honestly, I don't think we even have any followers. I literally haven't told anybody.
I didn't even realize we got back on Twitter. I thought that we were banned.
We were. I just made another one.
Oh.
I think HMG followed us. Follow them. HamianMediaGroup.podbean.com. Of course, the best place for your podcasting needs. Anyway, leave a comment down below in the chat too. Or if you really want to support the show, the online shop, baby. What's it, Bonfire?
I don't even know what it's called.
It's bonfire.com/ I don't know, WOM podcast.
We need to get a website already.
Yeah,
we need to get our
website
stuff together.
Before the internet kill switch. Let's invest in a GoDaddy or whatever. they'll strike us off the air faster than God takes out a George Floyd mural.
Alex Jones can have Infowars.com. We can have the WarOnMorons.com.
I'm assuming he's in a bunker somewhere. I think he's got like shock troops. He's got Owen standing in front of the building with an AR-15. He has a tank. Have you seen that?
Really?
Yeah, he's got a tank. He rides around in Austin fucking with the liberals there.
Oh, you got
It's like him and Owen shouting bullhorn out the window of the tank, like, you know that COVID is gonna kill you if you inject yourself with the deathly kill shot virus. Yeah.
I think I'm a little bit
Trump won.
The lunatics in the tank, but
No, they get mad. They go up and they like hit the tank, like they think they're gonna hurt it.
Oh my god,
it's funny. Yeah, check it out. Anyway, T-shirt like this brand new one.
I love this design.
CNN, get off the air. And yes, that's a Dead Kennedys reference. Punk rock. I mean, who says punk rock is only for the left wingers and the communists? If you got a brain, the Dead Kennedys lyrics make a lot more sense. Just take them literally.
All right, let's get into it now.
Yeah, the Stack of Stupidity. So, let's start things off with a follow-up story from last week. So, remember, I think we led with this last week, the January 6th insurrectionist who got caught by the FBI with the dangerous, hateful, fully constructed Lego set, like the Lego build of the Capitol.
Yeah.
Well, this makes it even better. So it was still in the box.
Huh.
He didn't even build the thing. And, like, apparently this was enough.
Sounds like it was a big part of the scheme. Yeah.
I mean, maybe that was where the hate came in. They're like, oh my god, he deconstructed the Capitol. He clearly planned on destroying it. He wanted to disintegrate it.
Oh my god. Where are these people coming up with this shit? Like, it used to be like, you had to have actual evidence? Like, isn't this pretty circumstantial? It's pretty damn circumstantial.
Maybe he has it because he actually cares about our country and its institutions. I mean, I'm pretty sure the people that were there that day weren't there because they wanted to burn things down or destroy it. Because if you watch, they didn't do that. They're there because they care a lot about civics. Like, honestly, these are people that, like, a decade or two ago, they'd be watching C-SPAN. They're like, look, I mean, there's a procedural vote going on. We've got to get there. We've got to pressure Mike Pence into doing the right thing and not certifying the electors. Like, this doesn't sound like anarchists that are trying to blow up a building.
I mean, I don't know. I think the real criminal here is Lego. I mean, the Lego company, let's face it, they've been handing out blueprints of our grocery stores and our airplanes and our, Statues of Liberty for years now. Oof. And they're an international company. I mean, any person, whether they be a terrorist, insurrectionist, a school shooter, it doesn't matter. They can go to the Lego store and buy a Lego set. And, honestly, I think it's time that we do hard-hitting journalism on the Lego company. Yeah, I mean, where are they really getting their money from?
Where are they getting their plans? Where are they getting their blueprints?
That's a great question.
I want to know, did Lego ever make a build of the Twin Towers?
Because
if they did, I mean, fuck Larry Silverstein. He had nothing to do with it. It was big Lego.
Big Lego. You gotta look into it. You gotta take it serious.
If only the CIA had the brains that we have in this room, they would figure this out.
Seriously. And speaking of security apparatus insanity, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence has apparently badly photoshopped a blind guy and a woman in a wheelchair into its annual demographic report for extra woke points.
So, like, they don't have enough actual, like minorities or whatever. So they're like, hey, look, we got a blind guy. He's got some sunglasses on and a cane.
Well, it's not that they maybe don't have enough, but a lot of people with disabilities, you can't see them. So they said, you know what, we need people who are visibly disabled. You need to look at them and know something is fucking wrong with them and that we hired them anyway. So let's get some stock images of some people with problems.
Oh my god, I'm looking at the picture now, and you can tell that it's Photoshop. Like you know how, like, if it's Photoshop, like, the color's a little bit off?
Yeah.
Like,
and, like, the dimensions are off. Like, there's not the right size, or, like, they're, like, shorter, or, like, something's... Yeah.
And the blind guy literally looks like, if you type in Google, blind dude. Like, he does have sunglasses on, and he's got, like, a seeing eye dog and a cane. Like, he's got all the props.
Why would he be holding that for a picture?
Right. Like, what?
Like, where's he going?
Like, I'm surprised they didn't, like, put, like, a graphic on there with an arrow pointing at him. Like, look, there's a blind guy right next to one of our blacks.
And it's the woman in the wheelchair is, like, holding a smartphone or something. Like, why would she be holding her phone for the picture?
Maybe the phone controls the wheelchair. And she's like... Remember, like, the Burger King Kids Club? Like, how come they never got to, like, have ultra-technical powers? Like, when I was a kid, I always thought that the handicapped people had advantages on us. Because, like, you look at the X-Men?
Yeah.
That motherfucker was, like, psychic or something. You know, what's his name, Mr. X?
I don't know. I didn't watch the X-Men.
I was a big fan of X-Men. X-Men's the original woke comic, if you ask me. But the wheelchair dude in the X-Men, you know, Patrick Stewart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Professor X. He's got powers. And,
do you think all disabled people have powers?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it anymore. Now I know that, you know, they're,
Disabled?
Yeah, disabled.
Yeah.
Well, think of the blind guy, another one with powers, Daredevil. I mean, Daredevil can't even see, and he can kick, like, 10 guys' ass at once. Like, he can't see you, but he knows Kung Fu.
You know, that's gonna come in real handy. That's gonna come. I bet this blind guy that they photoshopped into the freaking poster is a kung fu master.
It probably is. I don't know why the dog's just there to, like, distract
you. The dog looks like a badass. That dog has no superpowers.
That dog is not it's not a real seeing-eye dog.
No, hell no.
That dog's probably not even alive anymore.
Oh, God.
Looks like he has diabetes.
Anyway, it's shocking that the stupidity that these people will go to. You know, like we're supposed to be blind. Like, we can see it's badly photoshopped. Why can't you?
I mean, really, why is the director of national intelligence putting any pictures of people that actually work there out there?
That's a great question.
Like, honestly, we're not supposed to know. I'm going to start studying this with everything that's going on. I want to know who's showing up at my door asking me about my vaccination status. Anyway, moving on from this story, let's go to Ohio, where we've got a woman who, well, if they're looking for disabled people, she might be a great candidate for a job in Washington, because I'm assuming, just reading this headline, that she might be for real disabled.
Oh, jeez.
So, a woman let God take the wheel as a test of faith in a high-speed crash.
Oh, no.
According to the police report.
Oh, no. I have a feeling God was watching her and being like, don't do that. Don't do that. I can't do nothing from up here.
I mean, God might have been too busy wiping George Floyd's picture off the mural, and he wasn't paying attention at the time. Or maybe God just wanted this to happen.
Yeah, maybe God didn't like her.
I wouldn't have... I wouldn't have blamed him. So yeah, it was a high-speed collision. So she's 31 years old. Oh, interesting. So she told the officers about this.
Wait, what? She admitted it?
Yeah, she was going 100 miles an hour, and she drove through a red light.
And her kid was in the freaking front seat.
Yeah,
her 11-year-old daughter.
11-year-old daughter was there with her.
Does this woman have schizophrenia? What the hell's wrong with her?
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that she probably does.
But they didn't detect any sign of impairment for drugs or alcohol.
Right, the impairments from her schizophrenia. So, yeah, she told the police that she intentionally drove at the high rate of speed, intentionally drove through the red light to test her faith with God. Like, this is like those people that, like, you know, like, that take, like, the snakes, you know, like the venomous snakes. You're like, if this snake bites me, then you know I'm not pure and I'm not with God. I don't know. But
I love her reasoning behind this. She told police she's been going through some trials and tribulations. Well, bitch, you're about to go through quite a few more. And she was recently fired from her job. I can't imagine why. Her decision-making skills and critical thinking are so on point.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking those trials and tribulations might have something to do with her.
You know, if you're the common denominator.
Yeah. Well, I guess luckily that the child survived, and I'm assuming that maybe the child will go to a better home. And this lady, with a brain like that, she ought to be in the White House.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna get a new job anytime soon. I don't think DoorDash is gonna be taking her in with fucking let God take the wheel.
Hey, at least you're not gonna have to wait too long. As long as God doesn't see it to, get her in a crash that day. Yeah. She'll be like, oh yeah, your estimated time of delivery is 8 o'clock, but I'm gonna be there at 7:30. I'm taking the back streets, 150 miles an hour, baby.
All right, well, let's move on to Wyoming, where a farmer was also involved in a traffic accident last week, but he did handle it in style, unlike that woman. So basically, he survived on Keystone Light for 2 days after getting pinned under his ATV.
This isn't real.
Oh, yes, it is.
This is a commercial. This is like a Jack Black commercial. But they were with Keystone. Keystone just gets it done, or whatever. Is this real?
It is. So he had a cooler full of frosty Keystone Lights when he was going out to round up a loose cow with his ATV. But he did flip the ATV over on himself, which smashed his ribs up and basically, forced him to just survive on a stash of brews for 2 days straight.
So he was pinned. I'm really having trouble understanding how this works, because so the cooler full of beers, 24 beers or whatever, he's got a full rack of Keystones.
Yep.
It just so happened to land like right next to him as he's pinned under an How big is this fucking ATV?
ATV, I don't know, they can be pretty big. And
maybe if he wasn't drunk on piss beer, he would have been able to just kind of push it off.
Yeah, that would have been nice. That would have been nice.
How hard is his job as a cow? I know that the cowboy work is not easy work. But how hard is it that you got to grab a rack of Keystones just to go out and wrangle a steer or whatever?
Look, I'm just saying that I don't think that cowboys of old had these issues. Like, you grabbed your horse, and the horse ran out fast and gathered up the cow. It's when we started introducing all these, modern cowboys said, I can't go anywhere without my beer, so they invented the ATV, which is like, man's mistake, because everybody who's ridden an ATV knows these things are not safe. They are not safe.
He sounds more like a dude that's hanging out on a golf course in Florida, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, at least he had a good time. He might have actually gotten a buzz on by day 2. Don't drink Keystone Light, people.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of big trucks, well, good thing this guy wasn't a little farther west.
Really?
Yeah, so this is hilarious. Speaking of funny shit on Twitter, and I've finally unlocked the way to use Twitter. It's not really to tweet. It's not really to interact with people, because they're going to hide what you say anyway. And if you say anything really funny, you're going to get suspended for it.
Sure.
It's just to kind of lurk and look at the deranged, crazy leftist on anybody with pronouns in their bio. Just sit there and look at their tweet. They're going to say like 50 crazy things a day. And some guy in Portland, and if you saw the picture, you wouldn't know this is a guy. But speaking of his pronouns,
what the hell's his name? Hammy?
Hammy, but he's a he, him. So you know that.
I assume so. Man. The mustache kind of gave it away.
Well, this is Portland. That shouldn't give too much away. But anyway, this guy got super, super freaked out when he saw a big old pickup truck parked on the side of the street. Now, this guy is on his bicycle. He's got his big old bicycle helmet in bright orange, a safety helmet on. Well, he posed next to the truck, and he's so small that even with his big old safety helmet on, he barely goes above the grill of the truck.
To be fair, the truck does look like it's 7 feet tall.
Yeah, because this guy's, he's like Danny DeVito over there. And then he tweeted, "Is this street legal? How do we report this? Who do we report it to?" And he tagged the Portland Police Bureau.
Does it have a license hike? Yeah. If so, I'm pretty sure they already know about it.
It's got it's just a pickup truck. I mean, it's a nice, big pickup truck, but, here in the South, everybody's got a pickup truck.
Yeah.
And I would hope that you have a pickup truck big enough to scare this pansy liberal.
I love how they tagged the Portland police in this.
They don't have anything better to do.
I'm scared. There is a large vehicle. What does this man do when he sees a semi-truck?
Well, maybe he thinks...
Maybe he shits his pants.
Does he think this is a Decepticon?
Yeah, this man would not survive one day in Alex Jones's Austin, Texas. I'll tell you that.
Oh, no, you'd see his tank and he would literally shit his pants. He's not even man enough to be an Austin liberal. He has to be all the way in the zone in Portland.
Oh, my God.
It's hilarious. He looks like a 60-year-old woman that's a librarian or something.
He really does. He looks like Kristen Chenoweth on a very bad day. It's very sad.
And the best thing is, everybody, the ratio was just chef's kiss. I mean, because how can you defend this? I saw one guy that was like, oh yeah, I agree. These things shouldn't be legal. And
these things?
Yes, meaning pickup trucks. You can't have a look at his little bicycle.
It's not even a bicycle? I don't think it is. That looks like something weirder than a bicycle. It looks like a Segway. I guess it is a bicycle.
Well, he's just got a messenger bag attached.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, he's a purse attached to his bicycle. That's why it looks a little
It's a Merce. It's European.
Okay, well, go back to Europe. They don't have room for these trucks in Europe. Maybe that's why he's so scared.
Maybe. I don't know. I think it's fun. I used to live in Portland. I got out when I saw what was happening to that fucking town. But you'd see people riding around the street on not unicorns. What are they called? Unicycles. These days, it wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. It'd probably be a dude from the Pride Parade dressed like a unicorn in a thong. But no, you'd see people riding around on unicycles regularly.
I remember seeing that on Portlandia and thinking, "Wow, this place is weird."
It's a real thing. It used to be weird.
Aren't they also really big into farm to table type food? What do they think farmers drive? Typically pickup trucks.
Well, maybe they
How
used to be.
How does the farm food get to the table?
Now they get their food from a lab from Bill Gates.
Oh, you know what?
I shudder to imagine what they're going to be eating 10 years from now. Oh yeah, I've got these little organic cubes. It's great because it's got all the nutrients that I need for the day, and it's just compacted into a 1-inch square.
Soylent Green. It's not people.
By then they're gonna have devolved into 4-foot-tall creatures. They're gonna look like gray aliens. They're really great. My carbon footprint is minuscule.
They're gonna be so proud of themselves. They're gonna have solved the overpopulation and climate change and the animal cruelty issue all in one.
Yeah, they're gonna be little alien people. We've solved it. That's the aliens.
There you go.
Portland residents.
Anyways, before this gets any weirder, we are getting a call.
All right, you want to take it?
Yeah, all right. Hello, area code 720. You're on with the War on Morons. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, this is Sam in Boulder, Colorado. You know me, right? From the Liberal Show.
Oh, God,
with Pam and Sam.
Why are you still listening to our show, for God's sake?
I don't really like to listen to your show. I hate listening to your show. And anytime you say anything really offensive, I record it and I send it to the ADL. I send it to the White House. I send it to Facebook. I'm the reason that you got your last YouTube strike. That was me.
Sounds like you're one of our biggest fans.
I am. Actually, I wanted to actually talk about the last story. You don't get it. You don't get it, man. You're talking about the big, the hateful trucks. The hateful trucks, right?
Yeah, you're right, Sam. I don't get being scared of a pickup truck. Maybe you can explain it to me?
Well, you need to be scared because they belch out carbon into the atmosphere and they're killing the planet and they're going to make it so none of us, we can't even breathe the air. I don't understand how you could see it any other way. They need to be taken off the streets.
What, so just ban all pickup trucks?
Ban all pickup trucks. Ban all trucks. ban all cars, ban all buses, ban all vans. There's no reason that human beings need to have motor vehicles. They're bad for the environment. They're the worst thing for the environment.
Okay, have you thought about how that would negatively impact people of color, low-income communities, and the disabled?
They don't have cars. They don't, blacks and stuff, they don't have vehicles. So they actually have been systematically oppressed because white people, they get to own a car just like they own a slave. And that's why they all get to have a job and make more money.
You're being insane. A lot of those people take public transportation to get to doctor's appointments. What are you saying? They should die sick?
No, it's the blacks. I mean, they're very athletic. They can walk. They can run. They're going to actually. This is going to make more equity because it's going to make it so the black man who's he's more used to running because like they run from the racist police all the time. And they run to play
you sound
basketball.
racist as hell right now, Sam. Like
I don't sound. How I sound racist? I'm anti-racist. I'm actively anti-racist. That's why I'm organizing a protest right now. We're going to go down to Denver. I'm going to bring everybody I can. I'm going to bring hundreds. I'm going to bring thousands, and we're going to chant down automobiles, even electric cars, because the electric cars they have to get that power from somewhere. And if you ask me, it's white power. So we're going to have an anti-vehicle protest, and we're going to take all vehicles off the streets. We're going to give it back to Mother Earth.
Okay, well, Sam, how are you going to get to the Capitol?
To Denver? It's not that far. I think it's like 40 miles or so.
You're going to walk 40 miles?
No, we're going to take an Uber. You never heard of Uber?
That's a freaking vehicle, Sam.
It doesn't count because I don't own the car.
Okay, well, if nobody can own a car, how the hell do you expect to use Uber, big genius?
Fuck you. You know what? Just fuck you. You're the hypocrite. You are. Bye.
I mean, all vehicles. Just get rid of them all. Why not? That man is probably scared of his own fucking farts. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, because they put CO2 into the atmosphere. I mean, if you think bovine farts are bad,
try vegan farts.
Yeah, Jesus. Anyway, how do we follow up a call like that? Well, why not a story about another communist idiot, of course, albeit a much more famous one than the dude from the Liberal Show.
Oh, Karl Marx.
He kind of looks like Karl Marx now, actually. Of course, we're talking about Black Widow star David Harbour.
First of all, I have a lot of questions. Okay?
Yeah.
We're calling him Black Widow star?
Oh, I think it's topical. Yeah.
Has anybody even seen Black Widow? He's clearly from Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. What's his name in Stranger Things?
Hopper.
Yeah, the sheriff guy.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out he's a commie.
Oh.
Yeah. He has come out. He's come out and very brave for Hollywood these days. He's come out and said that no one could disagree with socialism.
Well, that is convenient because I think he has a net worth of like $6 million. So I'll be taking my share as soon as possible.
Honestly, he might already be redistributing that wealth because how do you star in Stranger Things and Marvel movies? And I mean, I know it sounds ridiculous to just put an only before the 6 million figure.
Yeah, but that's shockingly small for a net worth.
Yeah, I would think that he would.
Net worth includes all your assets. That's not even how much he has in the bank. That's like his house, his car, everything.
He must be an idiot. I mean, not just because he's out there espousing the virtues of fucking Marxism, but because, I mean...
No wonder he's espousing the values of fucking Marxism. Other people in Hollywood have billions, and he's only got 6 million.
I bet that Millie Bobby Brown, has triple the net worth of this guy.
He's probably waiting for his check from them.
What an idiot. Well, he definitely does look like a socialist, though. He looks like he could fit in Portland. He's got a beard down... down to his belly.
Ridiculous in the Black Widow movie. I'm just gonna say, like, most times when you see somebody in a superhero outfit, they have like a clean-shaven face.
Yeah.
This guy looks like a hobo that got a hold of some old raggy superhero costume.
Well, I haven't seen the movie, but apparently he plays like a communist Captain America. Like he's called the Red Guardian.
And everybody knows that in communism, it's hard enough to get a potato or toilet paper. I mean, we can't be shelling out Gillette razors left and right here. Okay,
Well,
folks?
I mean, I'd have to assume that the Red Guardian's in he's in the party.
Yeah.
He probably has access to the razors. He might even have access to meat that's not rancid. But yeah, apparently he was well cast.
I love this quote from him too. If you work at Starbucks and you make the coffee, then you should own it. You're the one making the coffee. You're not the one who got the business loan to buy the real estate or took on the liability of hiring employees or had to develop the recipes or invest in the marketing and branding, but no, you turned on a coffee machine.
Oh, I don't think that you should trouble his Hollywood mind with economics. Honestly, I'm going to get a job
Somebody
as
should trouble his mind with economics. Dude's poor as fucking Hollywood.
He's going to be broke, but you think you're going to keep getting roles forever, buddy? Like, you lucked into that Stranger Things deal. I saw him in a movie the other day. I saw this as an aside. You got to see this movie. It's called Black Mass.
We're just plugging movies now?
Well, no, it was actually a good movie. It was about Whitey Bulger. Anyway, what are we talking about?
You know what, folks? Yeah, go watch Black Mass.
Go watch Black Mass. It's a mob movie.
Maybe you can contribute $2 to David Harbour's net worth so he can go buy a coffee and make someone a business owner.
Yeah, just with one viewing of a Boston mob movie, you too can feed David Harbour and maybe let him understand that capitalism has value.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyway, moving on.
Speaking of Black Widow stars, we've got a story here about Black Widow herself. Scarlett Johansson apparently is ranting and raving about women in Hollywood being underpaid due to sexism.
Is she only worth $6 million too?
Oh, no. She made $56 million in 2019. So, vastly underpaid.
Wait, so all right, so David Harbour, white male, white male David Harbour is worth how much less than Scarlett there?
He's worth $6 million total lifetime net worth.
Okay, how much is she worth?
$56 million in 1 year.
And she's saying that women are underpaid in Hollywood.
They're underpaid.
What does she think she should be worth?
She makes more money than most men in Hollywood. She's worth $165 million.
I mean, see, that's an actually like a decent chunk of change.
Yeah.
You could do something with that. She could produce her own fucking Marvel movie with money like that. I mean, obviously she spent too much time with old Captain Marvel there when they were shooting Endgame.
What's going on there? I smell the celebrity it couple of communist USA.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Scarlett, you could be replaced by CGI and nobody would notice.
She could be replaced by a blow-up doll and nobody would notice. Have you ever seen her emote in a movie? It does not happen.
No. I mean, well, if it wasn't for Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, jeez.
If
Okay.
it wasn't for...
Let's just move on.
All right, well, if you thought that we were done with Disney alienating their customers, you thought wrong. Disney World has canceled Christmas.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, Disney World, Christmas, no more.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to explain some shit real quick.
Okay, well, they didn't cancel it for everybody. They just canceled it at Disney World. Because obviously Christmas is white supremacy, Christmas is hateful, Christmas is homophobic. So the big headline there is they got rid of something called Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. They replaced it with something called Disney's Very Merriest After Hours.
Okay, first of all, that's not nearly as catchy at all. Second of all, I don't understand what these people actually fucking want. Okay? Like, because you don't celebrate a holiday, you can't enjoy celebrating it with other people? That's ridiculous. That's like saying if it's my kid's birthday party, we have to celebrate your kid's birthday too.
I mean, it's apparently Disney has...
I mean, it's not like they put up the signs, December 1st, no Jews allowed.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised
Oh.
Well, it's funny. They go from on one minute, it's like, like the Jews control media or whatever, and then the next minute, it's like they're basically like, hey, let's open Auschwitz back up. Let's nuke Israel. I don't get it. But I think this has more to do with just the fact that they hate Christians and they hate America.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't want to have Christmas anymore at Disney World, which honestly sounds like burning money. It sounds like just taking a big pile of money and just setting it on fire.
Well, Disney already proved that they don't need our money and they don't need our approval. I mean, what other freaking business has 2 theme parks as their, or like actually more than that? I mean, they have theme parks worldwide that they can close down for a year and a half and not hurt at all.
Yeah.
At all.
And I mean, I don't watch their channel because why would I? But apparently, like, they've just been taking all of their properties and like, you know what? This needs a drag queen cuddling up against a 6-year-old.
Love that.
Let's roll that out there. So obviously, it's almost like it's like they're running some kind of a scheme where like, let's see how much we can tank the value of our brand, and then just like, and then we'll denounce all this in 5 years and we'll buy it at like, a third of the value.
I mean, I just don't understand who the hell they think. You know what? Actually, I was about to say something because I thought in my head for a minute that we were still living in like a normal time. Like when I was growing up, the people who really liked Disney and were like really into Disney were like the Christian families.
Oh no!
Like the Christian families that I grew up with.
They've been muscled out.
They were really into Disney. And now it's their kids who have turned into like transsexual liberals who are really into Disney in like a weird, like complex,
and they don't have
PTSD
children
type way.
No.
It's like they're reliving they want to relive their childhood. I don't know. I play armchair psychologist all day, but it's really sick. It's like Disney is supposed to be for families. If you don't have a family, why the
purple-haired, 80-pound waifs that are male and like fat dudes with a big beard and a dress, and they're just like looking at the park. Oh wow, look at the lights, and they go there like 5 times a month. That this is the new Disney demographic. So honestly, I mean, those people are big fans of Christmas. So
yeah, that's true. Maybe instead of putting up a Christmas tree, they'll just burn an American flag.
Maybe they'll replace Mickey Mouse. I mean, honestly, Mickey Mouse, he's racist. I've actually seen this. I'm not. Everything's racist to these people, but Mickey Mouse, they say, he's like modeled on minstrel shows. Like, how come he's got the gloves? How come he's got that black face?
And Donald Duck is a white male.
Yeah, so they're going to get rid of Disney, they're going to get rid of Mickey Mouse, they're going to get rid of Donald Duck, they're going to replace him with, who else?
Ursula!
No. Rainbow Dildo Butt Monkey.
And come on, if Ursula's not a freaking drag queen, I don't know what is.
Yeah, honestly, Ursula does look like the typical Disney customer these days. Anyway.
All right, moving on. No worries, theme park fans. At least you'll always have Universal Studios. And speaking of Universal Studios, they're facing a lawsuit. Why? Well, one of their characters, grrl, I guess his name is. Apparently, he's from the Despicable Me movie.
Yeah, he's like the big,
evil,
creepy-looking guy. He's supposed to be like a supervillain.
Sure,
with the pointy nose. Yeah. He's got the minions.
Yeah. All right.
grrl.
I saw the minions and I said I'm staying the fuck away from whatever that is, so I have no context. But grrl, the character, apparently made the okay gesture in photos with some young children who happen to be biracial, and now their families are suing Universal Studios for $30,000.
Because I get it, because Universal Studios, it's supposed to be better than okay. It's supposed to be like a great time.
No, because they're saying that the okay symbol is a hateful racial symbol. It's apparently a sincere expression of white supremacy, according to the Anti-Defamation League. The all-knowing
Oh, yeah,
ADL.
the ADL. Let's all bow down to the ADL. Are these people fucking serious? The dude in a theme park costume went like this. Just like everybody does. Hey, it's okay.
Hey!
And they're like, oh my god, what a Nazi.
Totally.
I like how in the picture, they've blurred it out. They've blurred out his hands so you don't see the hate symbol.
I mean, what are we going to do for the deaf people? Because in ASL, American Sign Language, that's the number 9.
Well, number 9s obviously racist.
Racist.
Yeah.
I just really don't know what these people thought they were going for. I mean, they're suing Universal Studios for $30,000. Like, that's gonna fucking hurt them. Like, your court costs are gonna cost more than the $30,000 you could potentially win.
I mean, and what do they think, like, did this do damage? Is this psychologically damaging to the 4-year-old?
Apparently, the girl suffered mental anguish, loss of dignity, humiliation, embarrassment, and other emotional distress.
That's because she realized who her parents were. I don't think it had anything to do with the theme park mascot throwing up a thumbs up or whatever. Well, no, the thumbs up's something even worse, I'm sure.
I mean, honestly...
It's basically a Sig Heil.
These parents had their kids take a picture with a character from the movie Despicable Me.
Wait, isn't he supposed to... He's a supervillain.
Yes!
So he was just being... So let's take him at their word. This is a white supremacist symbol. He was just trying to, He was trying to enliven the experience and make them feel the evil.
You know, I think that's a bit of a stretch.
Well, I mean, you watch those old Disney cartoons. You ever see the one where, Donald Duck punches Hitler? Or maybe, I think it was Donald Duck. But maybe it's Bugs Bunny.
Disney again. This is Universal Studios. They've always been very progressive.
All right, well, Gru, stop being a Nazi. Stop telling people it's okay. God, anyway. Speaking of racism hysteria, let's move on from the theme parks. The Euros wrapped up a week ago. Really exciting soccer tournament. It was a little nauseating if you were watching it because they were just having to fucking shoehorn that BLM nonsense in there. But it was a lot of fun. Italy ended up beating England in the finals. They're super excited over there, but guess what?
What?
Well, the Italian soccer team, rather than getting celebrated for being the champions of Europe, they're getting blasted for not being diverse enough. The problem?
The Italian team is not diverse enough.
Yeah, the problem is...
The team that represents Italy.
Yeah, people are mad that they've got too many Italians on the team.
Really? That is shocking and devastating.
Yeah, so The Economist is leading the charge on this, that news. I don't know what The Economist is doing talking about soccer anyway, but they let their paragraph on this was the most striking aspect of Italy's 26-man squad before it even took to the pitch was that alone among the main contenders, it did not include a single player considered as being of color.
Well, you know...
Because they're all Italian!
It's hard to... What do you think goes on in these people's brains, exactly? Like, have they just been, shocked with, a dog collar for too long? Like, what the hell's wrong with them?
They have to find racism, they have to find bigotry everywhere, even if it's not there. And I think these Italians were literally, sitting there and doing the knee and everything before the game, too. So they were trying to kiss the big black ass of BLM. And the best thing is, there's black players on the team. They just didn't happen to be starting. They were on the bench. So this guy was looking there, saying it's
racist.
Oh yeah. Well, look how good it did for England. England actually lost the game. And I'm probably getting a little too much into the weeds here, but England lost the game because this went to a penalty shootout, and rather than putting their best players in the penalty shootout, where you have to score more than the other team in order to win the game, England literally was like, "How many black guys do we got? Let's roll out all our."
You gotta be kidding me.
They did do this. They were like, "We're gonna make this historic." England, I don't think they've ever won this tournament. They're like, "We're gonna win it with a black man scoring the winning goal." So they took guys off of their deep bench, and they're like, "All right, you're taking the shot, buddy," instead of their star players. I saw a clip from a pub in England, and there was all these black dudes, and they were just doing a chant. It was going, "Give it to a black guy, he'll score," and they were just chanting that over and over. And then the guy, who I'm sure is a really good athlete, he made England's starting team, but he wasn't their best penalty kick shooter. He didn't make the shot.
I mean,
shocking.
Everybody knows that if you want to be racially aware and woke and diverse, you have to buy into the racial stereotype that black guys are good at sports.
You know, I mean, by this logic, we need to totally revamp, pretty much every league in America.
We do.
I mean, have you watched an NBA game? Like, I haven't actually, but I don't want to watch the NBA anymore.
We will no longer be accepting athletes from the states of Wisconsin, Idaho, or Ohio.
So. I was going to say the opposite. Like, if the NBA is like 95% black, obviously that's racist. There's too many.
Oh,
we've got to be more diverse. We need more Idaho farm boys on the Lakers. I mean,
calling Coeur d'Alene.
Anyway.
So, staying in Italy, we've got one more story for this block, straight out of a Monty Python sketch or something here.
All right.
We've got criminals who were disguised as cardinals, busted by police who were disguised as priests.
Was this at a brothel or something?
So basically, this is a really complicated scheme. These alleged fraudsters dressed up as cardinals and priests to trick people into giving them money by promising loans from the Vatican Bank.
Okay, so did people... Oh, so they... I'm so confused. So they pretended that they were from the Vatican, and
correct.
They were like high-ranking cardinals.
Right. And they were just walking around and, saying like, oh, do you need a loan, apparently? And they would present themselves as the Vatican's intermediary. And apparently this worked. They swindled people out of 1.7 million pounds or euros or whatever they use over there over the course of 20 different successful scams.
So they're like, if you want to get a loan, well, I can get one from a higher authority. I am a cardinal.
Oh my God. So the only way to catch them is to join them, right? If you can't beat them, join them. So the police dressed up as fake priests, and that sure enough did it.
So, of course, the cardinals are going to go to the priests and be like, hey, priest, you want to get a little bit of this money too? You want a little bit of the pizza pie? You would think that the fake cardinals would have enough sense to know that the priests might know who the cardinals were.
You might think.
I mean...
Maybe they had to go to confessional. Maybe they truly were Catholics.
I imagine that's actually how this happened. I feel so bad, Father. I'm going to make out $2 million here, but I tell everybody I'm a cardinal and I'm not really a cardinal.
Well, that's funny because my son, I tell everybody I'm a priest, but I'm really the police, so come out with your hands up.
Oh, my God. Well, I mean, if that's the worst thing to happen to a woman in a confessional, well...
Could be worse.
Anyway, we're getting called before this gets worse. This is a new one. Area code 360. You're on with the War on Morons. Go ahead and state your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, yeah, this is Anna Phylactic. I'm in Olympia, Washington.
It is who? Anna Phylactic?
Yeah, Anna Phylactic. You know me. Well, maybe, I don't know. I'm the singer of a punk band. We're called Side Effects. Pretty big up here.
All right. What's going on out there?
Yeah. I mean, just living life, man. Listening to your show, I gotta tell you. You know us, the Side Effects. We're a punk band up and down the West Coast. We were gonna be called the Shockers, but we didn't want to be associated with that shitty metal band Shocker.
Hey, now, Dirk Shocker's a friend of the show, so
What? You're kidding? He's still alive? Jesus.
Yeah, well,
Oh, man. We got beef. Anyways, I won't get into that today. I was just calling because, this last story you're talking about reminds me of the time that me and my girls and my band, we were on tour in Tijuana, and, man, we got some crazy times. I tell you what, yeah.
I can imagine. Tijuana gets pretty wild, right?
Yeah, we thought we were doing something controversial. We were dressed up as nuns. It was our bad habit tour, get it? And, we thought, people would be like, oh, religious out there, be like, oh, yeah, it's offensive or whatever, But, apparently it's really common out there. It's actually a pretty well-known thing. One thing led to another. It turns out a bunch of drug dealers dressed up as nuns and they smuggled drugs across the border. And, let's face it, I mean, it's a punk band, we weren't getting paid a lot. So, the merch did not sell in Tijuana, okay? So, long story short, we wound up smuggling some heroin into California.
What?
Yeah.
You hold on. I don't know why you're calling and admitting this.
It was a long time ago. What are you gonna do? But some of the drug mules and stuff. They're just pretty decent guys, honestly, all things considered.
So you dressed up like nuns, and you what? You just
we already had the costume. I mean, what we're gonna do? Turn down a free $1,000?
I would hope you get paid more than $1,000. Well, I mean, I guess $1,000 is $1,000, right?
Yeah, $1,000 I didn't have before.
And free heroin.
Yeah. Well, don't tell them that, but yeah, obviously.
I mean, I gotta love it. People calling our show and admitting to pretty hardcore felonies. Although this day and age, I mean, I don't think anybody cares anymore, do they?
I mean, it's not like I gave you my real name.
So it's not Anna. What is it? Anna Phylactic, like.
Yeah, Anna Phylactic. You get it? Like anaphylactic shock.
Yeah.
Why we're gonna be called this? People think of me in soccer all the time. Yeah, well, I'll have to call you back some other day. I got some real beef with that guy, but
you guys should go on tour together. I don't know. I don't know if you'd like going on tour with the what do you like riot girls or whatever.
Oh, come on, we're cooler than that. We're much more hardcore.
Hey, maybe. Well, thanks for calling, Anna, and try to stay out of trouble, all right?
No way, man. Have a good one.
Bye. That's a new one.
That's a new one.
That rock and roll lifestyle, you get in some crazy situations.
Apparently.
Anaphylactic? And I like that she mentioned chakra, though, because that's actually, spoiler alert, that's our commercial this week.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, let's roll it.
I'm Dirk Shocker from Shocker. And I approve this message. My heavy metal career has brought me a life of fame and fortune, of sex and excess, so many thrills and too many pills. But now I'm ready to trade it all in for you, the love of my life, California. That's right, dude. You probably thought I was talking about some chick, right? No way. Dirk Shocker rides solo, baby. But I've been all around the world, breaking eardrums and breaking hearts. And I gotta tell you, there's nowhere in the world like my hometown of Hollywood, California, baby. And that's why you gotta make me the governor. You see, somebody's fucked up our state. They fucked it up real bad because everywhere I look, there's a bunch of jungle boogies. Jungle boogies just cruising around, shooting up the block in South LA. Or there's dudes in lipstick and they're trying to turn tricks out in West Hollywood. And don't even get me started on the valley, dude. Like, either one of the valleys. Like, nobody there speaks fucking English. And these fucking Koreans. And you can't even go to a goddamn Dodgers game or you'll get stabbed by a Mexican. Like, I'm just saying, if you make me the governor, I'm gonna make this place look like Germany or something. Someplace clean, someplace where people appreciate the shocker, where people look like you and me, if you know what I'm saying. Hey, Dirk, that's enough. Come on, dude, I was just getting going, man. Give me back the mic. You sound like a nuts. Yeah, maybe I am one. You fucking asshole. Jeez. Still gonna be the governor.
I don't even, anything that comes out of that man's mouth should have a censorship warning on it. Like,
he's going for it. He's
You thought Trump tweets were bad.
I mean, I think I can't even imagine Dirk Schocker as the governor of California. We won't
he
have
ain't no Gavin Newsom.
no, and he's not. He's no.
And he's
Bruce
no pussy ass bitch.
No, he's not. He's not. Anyway, we disavow Dirk Schocker.
This is not an endorsement of Dirk Schocker.
We don't. If you're still listening, Jen, that wasn't us speaking. That was Dirk Schocker.
Right.
He's the racist, sexist, bigot, homophobe. We certainly aren't. No.
Nope.
Anyway, let's start the last block of the night with more fake racism. Because we can
never get enough.
Never get enough mileage out of that lol cow. So I don't even know where to start with this one. How about the headline? University course focuses on fixing racist soap dispensers.
Racist fucking soap dispensers.
Yeah. So and this isn't at the Ivy Leagues.
What? These people are going to Home Goods and they're finding the Ku Klux Klan section of fucking bathroom wares? What the fuck is this?
Yeah, apparently David Duke got into producing soaps. So yeah, Princeton University course. So Ivy League school
Princeton.
Here. They're focused on correcting racist technology because they have this theory that soap dispensers can't see dark skin and cameras don't pick out black faces. Now, honestly,
so they're not talking about like the soap dispensers you buy at Walmart. They're talking about like those shitty ones you go. Newsflash, they can't see anybody's fucking skin. You try to get soap out of one of those things in a public restroom, you're going to be standing there for a long freaking time.
No, it's because it's secret Nazi technology.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm sorry. If it's Nazi technology, then I guess I should be passing when I put my hand in their soap dispenser, but apparently not.
Honestly, these are the people that believe in the fucking deadly coronavirus. So they're like, oh my god, the black guy didn't get any soap out of the soap dispenser, so, now the coronavirus is just all over him. He's going to be dead in like 2 days. Or 2 weeks.
Can we...
So this course actually ran for 15 weeks.
What?
And it saw students attempting to overturn what they described as racial biases built in tech and developing actively anti-racist solutions. So apparently they want to like create robots that specifically seek out dark skin. Look, guys, as somebody that has dark skin, I don't want this.
Imagine a soap dispenser picking you out of the room and like splooging on your soap.
I'm just trying to go about my... Like, it's bad enough when you go to the club or something, and there's that cretin in there that's got, the soap and the...
hand towels.
Yeah, and what's it, I can't remember what it's called. He's got the perfumes, the colognes.
Yeah.
And he's just like, you're just trying to take a piss, you're probably drunk, and it's like 1 a.m, and some fucking guy's like, hey man, let me spritz some of this stuff on you, man.
God.
Hey man, you want me to dry your hands off for you?
I don't.
Hey man, you want me to zip up your pants for you? Like, no, I want you to get the fuck away from, come on, let me have $1.
Oh, Jesus.
Let me have $5.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It just goes to show, don't go to college, kids.
No.
Nothing good's gonna happen there.
If you have learned nothing from this show out of our 90 episodes, that's the bottom line. Do not go to college.
Absolutely not. And continuing on that theme, here's another headline for you. Now, this teacher actually believes that kids who haven't seen a cicada are suffering from the effects of environmental racism.
All right, now hold up. Before we get into the story, who the fuck's seen a cicada?
I mean, not anybody who's been alive in the past 17 years.
Yeah, like, I thought the whole thing was that they just kind of stay buried underground and annoy you every night. But you don't exactly see them buzzing around, do you?
No, not really.
So do they think that only the white man can see the mystical cicada?
Get ready. Not everyone gets to bear witness to the emergence of cicadas. Almost as quickly as you notice their song, nature dials the volume down, right around 42nd Street. By 38th Street, there's not a cicada to be seen or heard.
Who the fuck is this person that came out with this? This is lunacy.
But why is 38th Street the boundary line for cicadas in our city. He's talking about Indianapolis. It may seem arbitrary, but to those who know Indianapolis's history, 38th Street is one of the most obvious dividing lines in our city. As one of our main historical lines of segregation, you know what? I'm just going to go out here and say it. I bet the people who live on 38th Street are freaking glad that the screaming, ancient 17-year-old bugs aren't to be seen.
Yeah, and not like Indianapolis, Indiana is known for fucking segregation, by the way. A little north of the Mason-Dixon line, but still, think about it. This is yet another one where they're like, you know, let's inflict upon the minority something that sucks. and who says that who says it's only white people that live on the one side of the street, you fucking idiots? Like, and people live all over the place.
Yeah.
And we all hate cicadas or whatever the fuck they're called.
Yeah, nobody likes them. Nobody likes to have bugs screaming all night.
Yeah, just a few weeks ago we had a story about people calling the cops on them, remember?
Yeah.
You think those people down in Georgia that are calling the sheriff on their screaming bugs, you think they're like, boy, you know what? I really wish we had some blacks in the neighborhood that could appreciate being kept up all night from these goddamn hell creatures.
For real.
Anyway, who needs cicadas? When you've got fireworks.
Huh.
Yeah, moving out of the country and into the city, let's go to Nashville, where some Taco Bell employees almost burned their establishment to the ground, celebrating the 4th of July.
Indoors?
Yeah, by shooting off fireworks inside the restaurant.
Well, that's quite an interesting celebration.
Yeah, and it was July 5th, so these are the assholes that keep it going after the holiday. Honestly, they had it coming. But yeah, they were shooting off the fireworks inside the Taco Bell. They were
doing this multiple times. Like, the first firework went off and nothing in their brain said, that's probably enough. We should probably take this outside.
Nope.
No.
You gotta spice it up. I mean, what Taco Bell doesn't have enough traffic going through there that you have time to do shit like this?
Yeah, that's a great
Every
question.
time I've been to a Taco Bell, like, it's a happening spot. Like,
yeah.
It's busy. But apparently, people know to avoid this one.
I would.
And it got so bad that they, like, fled the restaurant. They ran outside while the fireworks were still going off, and then they realized that they locked themselves out. And then set the restaurant on fire.
Who could have predicted?
You know what I would have done at that point? I would have ran for the border.
You would have what?
I would have ran for the border.
The border.
You remember the Taco Bell?
I thought you said the porter, and I was like,
porter?
What? I don't know.
Now I'm confused.
I am too. All right, let's just move on.
Well, I was going to say, are you sure this wasn't Beavis and Butthead? At Burger World? Doesn't it sound like some shit?
It sounds exactly like a plotline from Beavis and Butthead.
Hey, Beavis, this is cool.
Hey, Beavis.
Yeah, fire! Burger! Going oil! Burn down Burger World!
Oh my god.
Kippy!
Well, that may not be the stupidest thing going on in restaurant kitchens these days.
Really?
Sticking with that theme.
All right.
The UK may soon ban boiling lobsters alive in a landmark bill that acknowledges crustaceans and mollusks as sentient beings.
All right, so I think the lead here is that Great Britain has more time for the rights of fucking lobsters than its own citizens.
Yes!
Have you seen England lately? There are millions and millions of people, and this has been happening for months, protesting in the streets of London for the right to be a goddamn human being.
Wow.
And, like, to leave their flat. And Parliament or whatever is like, yeah, you know what we need to be worried about is, like, when you drop a lobster in the pot, doesn't it sound like it's screaming? Please, you're killing us. These lockdowns don't make any sense. You're forcing us to take these deadly vaccines. Oh no, we don't want these crustaceans to feel any undue pain and suffering.
Oh man.
I want to know what Gordon Ramsay thinks about this.
I was just thinking of him. I have a feeling things are going to get a little weird in his kitchens when we come back from these lockdowns and animal cruelty laws.
And, like, how are they even going to know? Like, are they going to have, like, a restaurant monitor That or maybe they're gonna do it through sting operations. Like they're gonna send somebody undercover from Scotland Yard, and he's gonna yes, I'll have a lobster thermidor.
Oh my god!
And then he'll have a mole in the kitchen, just let's see. Is he going to stab it with a knife first, or is he gonna drop it in the pot, and then we'll make a collar on him?
Oh man. This may be the end of Gordon Ramsay's long storied career. Who would have thought that freaking boiling lobsters would be the thing to take him down?
Unbelievable. I mean, what are they going to ruin next? I mean, they just fucking ruin everything. They try to take beef away from us. They try to make us eat goddamn worms or whatever.
I mean, meanwhile, here in the United States, we can't even ban restaurant employees from setting off fireworks inside the goddamn establishment. But over in the UK, they're like, how should we ethically boil these animals for consumption?
Well, I think America wins this one. I think
I think so.
I'd rather go to a restaurant that might catch on fire because they're having a final deletion match in the kitchen. They'd have to worry about somebody being scared that my lobster is going to have his feelies hurt.
For real.
Yeah.
For real. Anyways, we're getting one last call. Why don't we just take it? Screw it.
All right.
Area code 561, you're on with the War on Morons. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Okay, first off, this Delroy Brown in Riviera Beach, Florida, and from One Love Caribbean restaurant, and I've got to say, and you've got to say, I was right, you were wrong. I was right, you were wrong. Sing it.
What are you referring to here?
Wrap it out. No, cause I've been telling you people for the long time. I've been telling you people for more than a year. You can't eat animals. It's not worth it. Too much money. You can't eat. You want to mac down on a lobster? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. A lobster costs like $10. Like $10. You buy it in bulk. $10. You want to eat a beef? Beef costs too much money. Chicken, too much money. I never cook any of that crap. And you say I'm crazy. You say I'm bad for serving my customers what I serve them. But now I've been vindicated, man. Because you hear that last story?
And Delroy, the concern wasn't that the lobsters were too expensive. It was that...
Yeah, they say that the lobster, you can't serve the lobster no more. You can't boil a lobster in a pot. You gotta pick something else for the customer to eat. So for what I got to say is Delroy Brown, One Love Caribbean restaurant. I've been doing it the right way. I serve the people the palmetto bug. I serve the people the gecko off the street. I serve the people the grubs I dig up from underground. I tell them it's a lobster. I tell them it's a beef. I tell them it's anything but, what it actually is. But now I might could tell them what it is, and they're going to be even happier.
You know what? Delroy, you should absolutely do that. Start telling the people what you're serving them.
That's right. We got a special. So come on down. It's 141 Blue Heron Boulevard, Riviera Beach. We're serving up the most delicious. It's like an oxtail soup, but it's made out of cockroaches, and we got that on. We got it on special for you. You come on down. You still in Florida?
Oh, no, Delroy, I'm not, and I won't be coming down, but I'm happy for your newfound
Come on down. Hey, Delroy's been doing this original. I'm the original.
I'm pretty sure you're the one and only.
Eat bugs. It's good for you. And Mother Earth.
Thank you, Delroy. Well, that's just turned my stomach. I don't know about you. But,
I mean, you heard it here, folks.
Sorry if you were eating dinner, during our show.
I was gonna say, if you want ethically sourced land lobsters and shrimp,
I mean, how is this...
One Love Caribbean restaurant.
I mean, nobody tell Delroy that the environmentally friendly eco-freaks actually want people to be doing shit like that. He's actually on trend.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they make him he'll be the next Greta or something. We're gonna be hearing about him in a couple of years. He's gonna be speaking in front of the UN. They're gonna be like, this daring restaurateur from South Florida was years ahead of the curve. He's been feeding his customers bugs and grubs long before we made it illegal not to.
Oh my God. Okay, you know, I gotta go throw up. So have a good week, everybody.
Yeah, this was a fun one. See you next week for episode 91.